Oh, oh, good. Oh boy. Oh boy. Right. So, welcome to another episode of Lo-Fi Behaviors, which is a part of illicit therapy. Today, what we're going to be talking about is actually, let me just put it this way, right? Because it's always hard for me to start these particular topics. I don't have an intro. You know what I mean? You gotta forgive me for it. There's no intro or any way to just jump into it. So, I'm not one for intros. So let's just get straight to the point. Lo-Fi Behavior is actually a series that I want to actually start to highlight low quality behavior from either gender, actually. It's a topic that people don't normally like to talk about, unfortunately. They just don't. They don't want to talk about this topic. It's not socially acceptable to talk about this particular topic, and so people avoid it like the bubonic plague. Sucks. Some things need to be talked about. I really do believe that some things need to be talked about, and I believe as many places that talk about it, the faster that we can get some sort of course correction, because it's bad. So if you run across this video, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you do like it. Don't forget to check out my Twitter account, which is also illicit therapy, or what you see down there, Sir303. And then you get some more information regarding that one. But today we are going to be talking about the lo-fi behavior of why does it seem like women want to be men. I never understood that. I don't know what's happening, to be honest with you. I'm seeing women wear boxers nowadays. The bros, the niggas, the hyper aggression. You know what I mean? The crazy attitudes in terms of not just being spicy, but just like real aggressive. You know what I mean? As if we need any more aggression in this particular world. But it was always weird to me that it feels like feminine behavior is just something that is frowned upon. Anything feminine is frowned upon at this point in time. It's like everyone. Well, I can't say that because you know what? It's not. It's not just that. What I am noticing is that there are men that are becoming more feminine, and I just wanted to make a short video kind of going over this because I do think that it's something that really needs to be discussed. So I'll pull this up here, and these are the things that's been on my mind here. Because of the family dynamic, right, that we have nowadays, there's a lot of single parents, whether it's single fathers or single mothers, whichever you want to look at it. It's not good for the children. And it's started like what in the 60s and 70s, and it spawned this generation of people, which I myself being included, where we just don't have that other piece of the dynamic. You know what I mean? We don't understand how either of the genders work. We are just kind of like, are really basing it off of our genetics and genes and what we naturally do without any discipline. There's no discipline per any gender. I'm a firm believer in just having two genders, either a man or a woman, or masculine or feminine. You know what I mean? There are some men that are more feminine than masculine, but for the most part, it's or vice versa, more masculine woman or whatever the case is. But it's still over here and over there. You know what I mean? It's the blending of the two genders are really what's causing a lot of issues. It's unfortunate. I said this last week, that almost as if like you put a fish in a small fish tank versus a large one, the fish is going to try to adapt to its surroundings, and that's what we are dealing with now as men and women. We are trying to adapt to not having family, or not having a proper family structure. On the men's side, there is no one that really teaches that will teach us how to be men. You know what I mean? If you did have a father, that father is either really absent, like working too damn hard, or if he is there, he is pretty feminine himself, which is unfortunate completely. And then you got that dude trying to teach another dude how to be masculine, which he doesn't know how to do. Or you have the single mother syndrome, where you have the mom trying to, that's my story. The mom trying to teach the child that is a male how to be a man. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because we have some innate behaviors per gender based off of our genetics. This testosterone, this testosterone thing that we have as men, spawned behavior patterns such as aggression, high sex drive, things of that nature, and that's what we typically that's what we lean towards. The feminine, the two X chromosomes leads to more of a passive attributes. But if you take these two genders and put them into an environment where it's nebulous and doesn't have any type of set ideologies or set rules, then it's just it's raw. You know what I mean? It's completely raw, and you're set to your own devices, and there is no control within yourself to be in your own gender. For the male portion, you have an abundance of men that are trying their best to obtain the other half, or the feminine half, do whatever it takes. There's no control. There's no taking over the situation. There's no controlling the situation. There's no leadership in that particular regard. And so, just like with anything in science, the man is trying to balance everything, right? So I believe I said something in this particular case. I said the first things first, men would do anything for women, right? And by nature, and that's including being strong. But we don't have that situation anymore where a guy is trying to be strong. He doesn't need to be strong anymore. He just, well, needs to get the girl. The girls are typically trying to pick up the slack for the guys that are not being very strong. They already have their own jobs. They get a lot of opportunity in this particular regard, and well, they are the masculine or dominant force in a relationship. That leaves the guy no other choice but to be feminine, more feminine, trying to balance the scales in this particular case. You have one guy that's following, or the leader following the followers, essentially. Neither is in the position that's in their natural state. Men are leaders for a specific reason, and that's because they don't get caught up in emotion typically. But it also sucks. It makes them suck as like caretakers because they don't have the empathy, or they're not, they don't have empathy essentially. So each role has their specific strength. Now everything is turned on its head or flopped. There's no fathers or masculine energy there, so the women have to pick up the slack. They have to be the caretakers, and they have to be the providers. And that leaves men in a really weird spot in just being a follower. You have all of these abilities. That is the strength. Men have denser bone structures. We have tougher skin. We don't have emotions to kind of cloud our vision when it comes to these quick, fast, and you don't need empathy type settings. So it's just sitting there. And what ends up happening in this particular case is, well, atrophy. Once that atrophy happens, you'll notice that in testosterone in men, that's been declining for a long time. It is rough. And that decline in testosterone leads to being sterile. It leads to men growing breasts, because there's no testosterone to check the estrogen levels that they have. And it's bad for that specimen or that gender. It fucks them all the way up. That's a bad thing. So when you take a guy out of his natural state or his role that he's supposed to be, which is the provider and the tough guy situation, we're supposed to be the workers. If we're not working anymore, then all of that shit atrophies. The situation also is on the woman's end. If the women have to pick up the slack and work harder, they don't have the skin literally to do it. You know what I mean? And their capacity to be empathetic or have a lot of empathy, it burns them out quick mentally. Their testosterone raises as well. So you get a lot of women nowadays that are growing facial hair obviously, like that's just because their testosterone levels is increasing because they have to pick up the man role. That's just the science of the matter. They're getting taller, they're getting bigger, you know what I'm saying? But they still have the XX chromosome and all of these features that is suffering from atrophy. That leads to cancers and all sorts of things that happens because of people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's my particular theory. I want to specify and be actually clear as to this is what I believe is going on. Not even talking about homosexuality or anything like that. It's just that if you're placed in a situation where you're not in your element, you're gonna have to adapt to it. And if you're not really meant to adapt to that shit, then it's going to break the whole system, So we really need to get back to the basics. It's unfortunate that we are not getting back to the basics. Like, we really need like some sort of cookbook. We're like ingredients, but without the instructions on how to be what we are. We have all the ingredients to be the cake, but we don't know how much to put what where. You know what I'm saying? We really need a cookbook on how to be a man and how to be a woman in their respective regards. And just in general, I always think to myself, it's like, it's kind of weird when I'm looking at all of this. Because never mind the man following the woman, that's going to be typical. Because the man will do anything for sex, like anything at all. He's completely crazy about sex. He's going to do whatever it takes. You see it all the time. And it's called simping. You know what I mean? Even when the odds is vastly not in the favor of that particular man, he'll do whatever it takes. He'll say whatever the girl wants to say, or him to say, whatever she wants him to believe, contrary to any particular logic, just to have sex with the girl. And for a woman, she'll do anything that it takes to get attention from the man. We're designed to be a balance or counterbalance to each other. And the system's all out of whack. All out of whack. Women are selling themselves out just to get any piece of attention from the man. This is why you can go on social media and they're spreading like a virus when it comes to, oh, I'm going to show my ass to get this particular attention. I want the attention of the men. I'm going to go into spaces that are not traditionally typical of a woman. Like these hardcore video games, oh, I'm going to show my ass. I'm going to wear like a thong and bra and everything like that. And talk about, hey, who wants to play Pokemon Snap with me? You know what I'm saying? Or Pokemon this, or who wants to play Monster Hunter, or who wants to play Call of Duty? And you already have Twitch selling out because they want the money as well too. It's even crashing the market. It's fucking up the market for corporations too, because women are more inclined to spend. But women know where the men are. Women know where the men are, and they will go there to get that attention. And since they have a lot of attention, well, it's hard for them to actually choose something. It's kind of like when you're a kid, right? And I seen this meme on Twitter. The meme was really funny. It was a refrigerator full of food, right? You open up the refrigerator and you're like, oh, there's nothing to eat. There's nothing to eat. And there's a whole bunch of shit in there to eat. You go onto Netflix and there's a whole bunch of shows on there and you're like, oh, ain't nothing to watch. You know what I'm saying? This is the market that's really happening when it comes to just like corporations, and when it comes to women in general, they have too many choices because the men are so thirsty for them, and they just come at them in like a huge tidal wave, and they don't know what the fuck to do with that. But a funny thing comes up right on social media, and I'm gonna actually Coolio died? Really? He wasn't even 60? Stop it. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got distracted. That's crazy. Anyway. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to mute my mic and I want you to hear what's going on and we're going to talk about it, right? Let's mute my mic here.
Deep, deep, deep. Freaky baby, show me some. Take it up like beep, 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 yeah. Beep, 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 beep.
Now, why am I showing you this? I am actually showing you this because of what this girl says. She changed her avatar from a couple of days ago. You can clearly see her name is Jesnica. She's a beauty entrepreneur. Once again, a woman that's doing business, doing masculine things. If you want to take a look at it, she has to support herself because it's unsavory. Well, she has to support herself because nobody else is going to support her, right? But she says here, men used to go to war. Now they're making TikTok videos like this. And initially you want to kind of tell her like, I mean, mind your business, right? You want to tell her mind your business, but at the same time, she has a point. I know it's typical for a black woman. Black women typically go to this where if they want to shame a guy, if they want to shame a man, they will always say that he's gay or something like that. So we get that, right? But but she has a point. So somebody says, y'all should leave men alone. We're still forced to it, and this is what we got to go through. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Someone says, but your grandfathers was doing this, so they didn't fight wars in the 60s. This is, if you don't know, this is the Isley brothers. So, I mean, it was, like I said before, it was happening in the fucking 60s, this emasculation of a man, especially black men. But she have a point. I mean, once again, you have shit like this, you know what I mean? Where men are trying to get attention for women, they'll do whatever it takes as well, So we forgetting them niggas was making J Smooth videos back in the day, So the thing is this, right? As I think I said before, men are aggressive by nature, and they have a lot of aggression and don't know what the hell to do with it. That's why we get like gang wars and stuff like that. We have a lot of gang situations because there is no support system for the man at all. There's no support system. So we have these uncultured, uncultured, uncivilized beatings and stuff like that, where this is what they feel like they have to do to get some camaraderie, which kind of sucks. So essentially, going back to what I was saying here, she has a point. She does. She really has a point in this. And I'm not a fan of that either, just to put it that way. I'm not a big fan of men showing off in that particular way when he could be doing something, more productive, more work related and things like that. You definitely could be doing something that is more masculine than you grinding on things. It's unfortunate that that's happening there. But always, on a side note, I always think to myself, like, what is the problem with being feminine in terms of the woman being feminine? I never understood why that was such an issue for women. You complain about men not being, or you complain about men in general, how toxic we are, and then you change into them. That doesn't make any sense to me. That never made any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But, I want to wear men's clothes. I want to call dudes bros. I want to grow my leg hair out because, the patriarchy, I guess. They say that women are supposed to shave. I want to shave my hair. A lot of women nowadays are shaving their hair, sides of their hair, cutting their hair low because they feel like men have it easier. It's just, it's nonsense to me that the feminine energy can be thrown away like it is just to be masculine, but you hate toxic masculine. It just, to me, it sounds bonkers how confused the world is nowadays. We really need to go back to the drawing board and have at least a crash course into how to be a man and how to be a woman, because neither of us know how to be one. A lot of just simping and just real effeminate shit that we see online is just like it's condoned. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that women don't like either. Guys that are, effeminate, and men definitely don't like women that are masculine either. But either of us don't know what the fuck we're doing. We don't know how to be our respective gender, which sucks. It sucks. We don't have the family typically to kind of train us. We've been brought up in fatherless homes. No one knows what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? When I look at this, it's like, you do see women that are trying to be more masculine. They're only doing this because men are not stepping up and being the man that they're supposed to be doing, or they're supposed to be. They're just not being the man. They're not being a man. They're not working really hard. They're not utilizing their strengths, literally. We are designed to take abuse, physically. That's what we're designed to do. And we don't even want jobs to we don't even want jobs to be difficult. We want everything on fucking easy street. You know what I'm saying? I would really see, here's the thing. Some people believe this, and this is what I'm going to leave off on. Some people believe that what's the problem of the roles being mixed up or reversing? If we are adapting to it, right? What's the problem to it? Okay. So let's say another country comes and fucks everything up. Then we have to default back to our nature. You know, women are not equipped to do a lot of the things that a man is equipped to do. It's just not. They're not built for it. Let's just keep it a fucking stack. They're not built for it. We got the tougher skin. We got the denser bones. We got the way more fucking hand grip and stuff like that. By nature, it doesn't matter if he's a skinny fucking geek or not. It's built into our fucking genetics. And women has more tolerance because of the childbirth and stuff like that they have. And they're better at taking care of the young, you know what I mean? Because they are empaths, if you will. But if everything went to shit, even if everything went to shit, right? If let's say it wasn't even a war, let's say like in Florida right now, there's a hurricane that's fucking everything up. In California, they're on fault lines and shit like that. Let's say a massive 10 earthquake happens and fucks everything up. The men are just too fucking weak to do any real thing. The men has gotten so weak, and then society has pressured men to not be so toxic. And then the society also pressured men to not be so big, because women are, again, women want everything on an even playing field. We wouldn't be able to fucking fend for ourselves if some kind of catastrophe happens with these weird mixtures of, role reversals. There's only so much a woman can take in that field in terms of beating up their bodies. And there's only some things that a man can take, which is not getting that feminine energy. It'll just fuck up society. You got these frail, skinny ass men that don't even know how to fight. They're using fucking guns. How the fuck is that going to be? How is that going to help any event that a catastrophe happens? Whether another country just storms up there. You think most of these fucking fat ass or skinny ass, stick figure ass niggas go actually protect you? Most of the women that's in the United States is obese or overweight, and we're talking about body shaming and I care. Like, would you fucking, do you want Lizzo to fucking help you out? You think Lizzo's gonna help? You think she would have the capacity to help you out? Some Lizzo-sized chick? This is what we're dealing with. Men are not even strong. They're toothpicks or overweight. Most women are fucking overweight, and we're busy caring about feelings. That's the problem. Feelings. How I feel about how you make me. How you make me feel. My feelings were hurt. That's the fucking problem that we're dealing with right now. That's a big fucking problem. That's a huge, huge, huge problem. That's the problem with trying to make these genders more fluid. We are designed to be what we are designed to be, period, point blank. That's the end of the discussion. It's not a metaphysical situation. You know what I mean? It's not a choice to be a fucking man. I'm a man all the way fucking through. Physical and mental. And the same thing with a woman. She's a woman all the way through. Physical and mental. And we're literally thinking that we can just societal or engineer this based off of society on however way we want to engineer this shit, however way we want to do it, and ignoring the biology of the situation. If something happens today, I can't stress this shit enough. If something happens today where a crazy fucking category, I know it's only 5 categories for a hurricane, but if a category 7 hurricane comes and rips everything the fuck apart, then we got to go back to the fucking basics. Men are too fucking weak to help the women out. Men can't even lift these fucking women at this point in time. They're too skinny. And women are too overweight. All that masculine shit, thinking that I'm a boss chick and stuff like that, and men just trying to simping for anything that a woman will say, all they got to go out the window in the case of a catastrophe or a cataclysm. That goes out the fucking window. Now you got to go default back to your state. We really, really, really need a book or some kind of handbook to learn how to be men and learn how to be fucking women, because the previous generation fucked us over. All this fucking shit that they were saying before about we don't need this, we don't need that. You can go against have a different convention. You know, you don't need to worry about biology. Essentially, we're gonna fuck ourselves over if we keep on this path. Period. But that's all I gotta say. You know, let me know in the comments what you think about what I'm saying. I know it's rough to hear. You know, it's against the societal norms, but it is what it is. I hate to say this. I'm always like starting these podcasts after I wake up from a fucking nap. So I'm just building up fucking steam, and at the end I'll have the energy. But I'm gonna try to keep doing this the best that I can, and just keep it moving, find something entertaining. But you guys, peace out.